Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and we got a lot to cover as always. The news is on fire. I mean, there's just so much news to cover. I know exactly where I'm going to start. The article is on the screen. And Florida's own Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, handling things perfectly. And we'll be up in just a minute. Stand by. Welcome, everyone, to the program. My name is Brian Craig, and, of course, this is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. We've got a lot to cover today, and I'm going to talk about, here in the beginning, this terrorist spokesperson that the left are defending. And but I do want to mention, how many of you have been getting locked out of your Twitter constantly, your X? It's like at least once a day, I've got to verify that I'm me on my X account. It gets very frustrating, and I know a lot of people have dealt with that. Even Dorsey had the same authentication problem come up that I saw him talking about it earlier on X. And I just, as I was about to start the show, just had to authenticate my account right now as I was talking with you. Okay, we got a lot to cover here, and I'm going to get right into it. And your calls certainly are welcome as well on this Thursday morning at 1-888-465-2631. Toll-free call, 888-465-2631. You know, Marco Rubio came out in support of deporting this Mahmoud, what's his name, Khalil, and I'll play you what Marco Rubio said in a few minutes, but, you know, this guy, did I read that he has how many attorneys? I thought I saw someone say he had 19 attorneys, and that must be a joke because there were 19 hijackers on 9/11, but he certainly has attorneys, and this guy is a Hamas spokesperson, activist, representative, and agitator who, like many in this country, is here on whatever visa they have or green card or status they have to cause mayhem and begin revolutions, okay? And it is not unusual for people like him to be deported. This used to be the way of doing things, and the American people have been convinced of a lot of things that aren't true over the past, 30, 40 years. But what this guy is, he's Tokyo Rose and then a lot more. And for you youngins out there, you millennials and Gen Zers that are not familiar with Tokyo Rose was an American citizen of Japanese descent. She was an American citizen from Ohio, where I'm from, where J.D. Vance is from. And she was visiting family in Japan when the war broke out. Seems, and she was in a lot of trouble in Japan because even though she looked Japanese and could talk Japanese, could speak Japanese, yeah, I really think so. And I wonder if anybody got that. Some of you did. If you're my age, you got that. But she was an American, and she was in a lot of trouble in Japan. And what she did to survive is she became Tokyo Rose, and the Japanese used her on Japanese radio, speaking English with a perfect American accent, spreading all kinds of misinformation over the radio that was broadcast to all the American Marines and sailors and everything in the Pacific throughout the war. And she didn't hurt anyone. She just talked, and she said a lot of lies and, propaganda. You can look her up. And then when the war was over, she was still in Japan after we dropped the bombs and Japan surrendered. And a couple reporters, I cannot remember who they were with. I want to say Life magazine, but they were like with if it wasn't Life, it was a magazine similar to that. They went on a search for Tokyo Rose because all the American fighters in the Pacific were very well aware of Tokyo Rose. And by the way, there were Americans of German descent who were doing the same thing in Europe for the Nazis. And these reporters, I want to say Life magazine, but it may have not been. It was a big magazine or media outlet of the day. It could have been Life magazine. It could have been New York Times. I don't remember. But she was sought out by these reporters for an interview. They just wanted to interview her because she was so famous for her propaganda broadcast. And the war was just over. These two reporters found her. And they interviewed her, and then they printed a story. And then when the story was printed, the American authorities, of course, were not happy. They went and arrested Tokyo Rose. They brought her back to the United States. They put Tokyo, and keep in mind, this was a U.S. citizen of Japanese descent. The war was over. She was stuck in Japan visiting family when the war broke out, but U.S. authorities arrested her in Japan, brought her back to the United States. She was tried for treason and convicted and did 10 years. Tokyo Rose did 10 years in the federal penitentiary here in the United States, and then when she was freed, she went back home to Ohio. Also in the Second World War, there were 5 Americans of German descent. Now, again, these are citizens. Now, Tokyo Rose was a U.S. citizen. There were, this stuff just popped in my mind. I haven't researched or read up on this stuff in many, many years, but, I'm familiar with it, from my studies and just living life. There were 5 American citizens of German descent who went back to the fatherland, like a lot of Germans did when Hitler took power. And they became trained spy/terrorist for the Germans. And they sent them to the United States to commit acts of terrorism. There were 5 of them. They brought them here by U-boat. They landed somewhere in Florida. I don't remember where, but somewhere in Florida. And their plan and their mission was to blow up power plants and cause some other mayhem, none of which they accomplished. They were captured. I don't know. I don't remember how they captured them, but they captured them before they did anything. These guys were U.S. citizens. They were executed. Within like a week of their capture, they were tried and executed. Okay? And so these 5 Americans of German descent in Tokyo Rose were all U.S. citizens. And look what happened to them. This guy... they took his student visa or green card or whatever it is to deport him. Mahmoud Khalil, he's a Tokyo Rose type, but he's also in this he's that, but he's also in this country to be a spokesperson and organizer for the terrorist Hamas, which is Iran, right? And he's been attempting to begin a revolution and a takeover of this country. And he's not alone. There's many like him. They're trying to do to America what they've done to the UK. And maybe they've been successful in New York because there's so many of them there and they're so vocal in New York City. So this idea that what he's doing is free speech is insane. While everyone in the United States, regardless of being a citizen or not, has constitutional rights, you do. However, if you're a foreign national backed by Iran, which he is, and you're sent over here to organize a revolution, spread hate, organize hate rallies, defend and become a spokesperson for Hamas, which is Iran, your privilege of being in this country is revoked. I don't care if you married an American girl and she's pregnant with your baby. So I'll take our first break. We'll come back and talk more about this, but I want to lead with this because this is just out of control, and this has to be stopped. We have to stop this, and we got to stop it quick, or we're going to lose our country like England has fallen. It's 14 minutes after the hour. It's Thursday morning. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. And you're all welcome on either side to call me about this on the air. The number's toll free, and it's pinned in the live chat. I'd very much like to hear from you. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And I'll get into some more detail about it as we go on. But this cannot be allowed. If you're on hold, hang in there. And we have a long history. Oh, PJ, it was Cosmopolitan that did that. Wow. Yep, PJ just texted me. He said it was Cosmopolitan that did that. Okay. $25. We'll be back in a little more than 2 minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll take the calls when we get back. Way too long. Okay. Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes exactly. He just texted me the time we're coming back. Oh, you're welcome to watch. Maybe you'll learn something, you trolls. "90 seconds. Welcome, welcome, welcome." Yeah, I mean, you can't come over here and organize revolution and hate groups, right? Just can't do that when you're a guest in this country. Just can't be allowed. President Trump is awesome. Absolutely. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm broadcasting on 8 FM radio stations in Morning Drive, and this is a radio station break. And we'll be back in 1 minute exactly. Well, see ya, bazooka. Bye. Can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Absolutely. Marco Rubio's awesome. I love Marco Rubio. Okay, 30 seconds. "15 seconds. I got the countdown. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm talking about this Hamas spokesperson / activist. Remember Baghdad Bob? Remember, the Marines went and picked him up. I'm sorry. You can't be doing what this guy's doing. Now, immigration made a mistake. They should, in the future, don't tell anyone that you're deporting someone until they're back in Syria, Iran, or Egypt, or wherever they're from, okay? Then you tell people, and then they can get their lawyers to try to get them back. But and maybe that'll be what they do. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, Richie.
Hey, you're getting close to your cruise, man. You're getting ready to pack, I guess.
I'm packing on Sunday because I lost all this weight. I'm packing on Sunday to see what fits and what doesn't in case I got to buy some new things.
Yeah, they're going to see you on the cruise as well. They're going to see the difference, I guess, from last year. Let me say this to you about this guy going. I agree with you, but then this country has totally changed. I believe it's an attack on the whole left. The whole left. They're defending this guy, but they got Tlaib and they got Omar and they got Presley and they got all these anti-American people that are in our government, Brian. I mean, to me, Tlaib should have been deported herself.
But you know, Richie, see, you're right. Okay, none of them should be in Congress. In fact, in President Trump's first term, when he ordered to take out the Soleimani, the Iranian general that led he didn't tell Congress, and he didn't tell Congress because Tlaib would have told her friends before it happened. All right.
Yeah, they're all.
But the thing about
traitors.
but the thing about it is, part of what's going on with Doge, the government bureaucracy is filled with Islamic people and their supporters, and there's a big purge of these people going on from the federal government through Doge. And you're familiar with Tokyo Rose and everyone I was talking about. These
Absolutely.
people, and she should have gone to prison. And this guy's not. She was a U.S. citizen. PJ from Newsbusters, PJ Gladnick, he texted me during the break. It was Cosmopolitan that found Tokyo Rose in Japan after the war and interviewed her that got her arrested. I didn't know Cosmo was around then. But what this guy did is criminal. He's an organizer for terrorists.
Let me ask you a question. I agree with you 150%. But every night on MSNBC, mostly them, and some of CNN, we see this on a regular basis. Those licenses should have been pulled. They're worse than Tokyo Rose. I mean, if the president does one thing right, but they attack him and completely twist stories, and they're trying to just sabotage everything he's doing. I mean, it's really ridiculous. To me, they're the traitors of this country.
And not only that, he's a foreigner in this country who's organizing hate groups against not just Americans, but oops, sorry about that, Richie, but Jews, and you see these supporters that he has up in New York. The reason they're wearing masks is so they're not identified, but there's going to be.
That should be stopped. And they're breaking in. It's not like they're just out in the street with signs. They're literally attacking people. They're literally breaking into buildings.
Yeah.
They're taking over colleges. To me, they all should go to jail. Not just this guy. They should get giant buses and just start putting them on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree. I mean, it's like having what he is. He's like an activist, organizer, and spokesperson for Al Qaeda. Right, in 2002, it would be a similar thing.
Do you remember when President Trump was running for president? I know you remember this. He made a comment. He had to sit back with Biden as president and watch how they attacked Washington and climbed our flag and took our flags down and put the Palestinian flag up on our flagpole, and we had to sit back and watch.
That's right.
I mean, this is what's happened in this country. It's all of them. It's not this one guy's a symbol. But he's a symbol. But what we have within our government, Chuck Schumer's Jewish. He's the worst.
Well, some of the leading anti-Israeli people are Jews that are liberal in government, and I like what President Trump said yesterday. Schumer's a Palestinian now. He's no longer a Jew.
Yeah, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, another one. These people are I just don't get it anymore. Mm-hmm. It's not a matter of, you remember you used to say, how do liberal Jews vote Democrat? How do liberal Jews defend Hamas?
Yeah, well, everything. A lot of it is, there's a lot of reasons why. One of the reasons is, as a group, Jews are a large percentage of Jews are college educated, right? And they get brainwashed in these liberal universities. That's one reason. Another reason is
a lot of them are Jewish professors, my friend.
That's right. Yeah, they're a lot, and a lot of liberal Jews are not religious. To them, being yesterday with the Irish, a lot of Irish Americans, to liberal Jews, being a Jew is like being Irish or Italian. It's just an ethnicity to them. There's no meaning. I mean, that's true. It's awful. I had a great experience this morning, though. I filled up my wife's car with gas. My wife doesn't really drive, okay? So she's got a car that doesn't drive very much and use much gas. I filled it up today. It was on E, and under $30 filled up my tank. And gas prices, the gas prices right now are where they were on Trump's last day of his first term. That's amazing. Just like that, boom, gas prices have dropped like a rock. It was beautiful to fill up the car today.
Do you know your wife's car? I watch a lot of, I'm like a YouTube nut, and I watch a lot of professional people. That car, they say, is going to be dropped off the American market because they're in a lot of trouble.
What, the Mini Cooper?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they say that the people are not buying them. They're the big ones are not big enough, and the small ones no one wants.
Well, no, the Mini's fine. If I still had a kid at home, it wouldn't be big enough. But the Mini Cooper. I guess the first I had a Mini.
I love that car. I love it.
This is my third one. This is my third one, and I had a Mini Cooper when they first came back years ago. I don't remember how many years ago it was.
Yeah.
And it saved my life. I was on I-95, stopped dead just south of Glades Road southbound. A girl drove into me going about 65 to 75 miles an hour in the driver's side. And
holy Jesus.
Yeah, and I saw her coming, and I thought I was dead. I said, I prayed to Jesus, and I thought I was dead. And I survived because those cars they're BMWs. They're so safe.
Yeah, well, but they're being discontinued in the United States.
Well, then I'll have a collectible.
A lot of Chrysler also. You're not kidding.
Then I'll have a collectible that I love. All right, take care. Oh, my goodness. That's fine with me, If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our break for the bottom, but I want to talk to you about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. I just checked. The free shipping offer is still in effect site-wide with our promo code Kane at checkout. This will end without notice. I check it every morning right before I go on the air in case they update the specials on the website. So there's incredible deals going on, okay? The mega sale is going on where you're saving up to 80% off of top MyPillow products with our promo code Kane at checkout. And you can use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, site-wide on all the specials, no matter what they say. So you're getting this huge sales up to 80% off. If you spend $100 or more, you get 2 free MyPillows, and you're getting free shipping. I mean, that Mike Lindell is literally giving things away right now, and this free shipping special, we may have it in there just by accident at this point. I was very surprised that it's still there. And, of course, every time you purchase MyPillow products, you are supporting this program, and it's greatly appreciated. All right, I'm Brian Craig. Call us on hold standby. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We'll be right back. If you're on hold, hang in there. I would appreciate if you guys, you use our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com. Mike Lindell sponsors all of my content, the radio show, my YouTube channel, my podcast, and he does that because you're supporting him and buying the MyPillow products. So these are great deals. With my promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, free shipping on all orders, no minimum size order, no matter how small. You're getting 2 free MyPillows on orders over $100. Plus, there's just huge specials going on. But you've got to use my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. We'll be back in 4 minutes. We'll be back live on the air. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, if you're on hold, hang in there. You know, this idea, well, he's got the First Amendment. You do not have a First Amendment right to instigate violence against people, which is what he's doing. You don't have a First Amendment right to be, 3 minutes, we'll be back, to organize for an enemy of this country, Hamas, which is Iran, right? I mean, and Iran's been our enemy my entire life. That's the way it is, guys. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. America's back. I mean, this crap is over. No doubt about it. We got our country back. We were about to lose it. But we got it back now. 2.5 minutes and we'll be back. And I'll go to the phones when we get back. Just checking my DMs and text messages, which I'm getting a lot of. My phone, I get more DMs and text messages at crazy hours of the morning because people know I'm up. People start texting me at like 2, 3 in the morning, which is fine. I'm awake. I mean, it's fine with me. Does anyone in the chat watch Severance on Apple TV? Severance? Or am I the lone Severance watcher? Maybe I am. In this group. Yeah, I'm like obsessed with Severance. I rewatched the first season again a couple weeks ago. I binged the first season. Now that I've seen the second season, the first season makes a lot more sense. Oh my goodness, I am obsessed. I watched a video on YouTube. Those of you there that watch Severance, where this guy goes to the building that they filmed the Lumen headquarters at. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. You could just walk into that building. It's amazing. I want to get a name tag, like an employee ID that says Lumen on it. Anybody know where I can get that? We'll be back in 45 seconds. Severance is a Apple TV show. It's really good. 30 seconds. You only watch The View. You're the only one watching. How's Sunny Halston's husband doing with that criminal case? Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. And, I'll just go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. All right. Once, twice. You missed out. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You're right about this guy with this particular guy. Because remember, go back to the blind sheikh. Remember the blind sheikh, Omar Rahman, or whatever his name was?
Yeah.
That did the first World Trade Center bombing. Well, what happened with him is they announced that he was going to go back to Egypt. He was from Egypt before he died. He was from Egypt, and they announced that he was going back. Well, what happened? He got lawyers, and he ended up spending 10 years in jail.
You know, I remember. Remember when Kiefer Sutherland had that show 24?
Yeah.
It was a pretty good show, although it got woke. And 24 was a big hit. It was the first season was filmed before 9/11, but it debuted after 9/11, and it was about terror. So it was a big hit. But there was one of the seasons, Al Qaeda. It wasn't called Al Qaeda. It was supposed to be Al Qaeda. Were the villains. And Kiefer Sutherland, he played a federal agent. He was about to arrest this Al Qaeda leader here in the United States, and the guy knew he was going to get arrested. So he picked up his phone and called his terrorist cell and told them to call the ACLU. And Kiefer arrests him. He takes him into custody. The ACLU attorney was waiting for him. You know, I think that they should put him on a plane and send him back to the Middle East and let his lawyers argue it from there via remote. In the future, don't tell. Now, this may have leaked out. You know, maybe they arrested him. And, it leaked out that they got him by forces inside ICE or his Islamic connections through his wife. But this guy does not have the right to do what he's been doing. In fact, a lot of people reporting on this have said not only did he praise the October 7th attacks in Israel, he wanted to recreate them here.
Right. And that's the thing. And basically, that's what... I've heard Bongino say basically the same thing. He should have been stuck on a plane, processed on the plane, and the announcement comes after he gets processed on the plane.
That's right. Correct.
On the way back.
That's right. And that's probably what they'll do in the future.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. This guy is a terrorist, and he's a terrorist sympathizer. I mean, who knows who leaked this thing out? Who knows who they leaked it to? You know, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this is. I mean, it happened in Trump's first. There was a lot of leaks in Trump's first term. This is one of the first big leaks.
Well, we know there's people leaking because they're prosecuting some of the leakers now from ICE that leaked the raids. All right, Mike, take care. Thanks for the call. Yeah, Mike is right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? No, it's going to be one of those mornings, guys. Once, twice. All right, you're out of luck. If you're on hold, hang in there. So yesterday, Secretary of State, Florida's own Marco Rubio, had a press conference, and they asked him about deporting this terrorist.
President Trump appealed to a lot of Americans during his campaign on free speech arguments and not suppressing speech, especially from the government. But your revocation of the green card, to many, is seen as one of the most anti-speech actions a secretary can take with his powers. How do you respond?
Yeah, when you enter this is an important point, and I'm glad you asked this question. When you come to the United States as a visitor, which is what a visa is, which is how this individual entered this country, as on a visitor's visa, okay, you are here as a visitor. We can deny you that visa. We can deny you that if you tell us when you apply, hi, I'm trying to get into the United States on a student visa. I am a big supporter of Hamas, a murderous, barbaric group that kidnaps children, that rapes teenage girls, that takes hostages, that allows them to die in captivity, that returns more bodies than live hostages. If you tell us that you are in favor of a group like this, and if you tell us when you apply for your visa, and by the way, I intend to come to your country as a student, and rile up all kinds of anti-Jewish student, anti-Semitic activities. I intend to shut down your universities. If you told us all these things when you applied for a visa, we would deny your visa. I hope we would. If you actually end up doing that, once you're in this country on such a visa, we will revoke it. And if you end up having a green card, not citizenship, but a green card as a result of that visa while you're here in those activities, we're going to kick you out. It's as simple as that. This is not about free speech. This is about people that don't have a right to be in the United States to begin with. No one has a right to a student visa. No one has a right to a green card, by the way. So when you apply for a student visa or any visa to enter the United States, we have a right to deny you for virtually any reason. But I think being a supporter of Hamas and coming into our universities and turning them upside down and being complicit in what are clearly crimes of vandalization, complicit in shutting down learning institutions. There are kids at these schools that can't go to class. You pay all this money to these high-priced schools that are supposed to be of great esteem, and you can't even go to class. You're afraid to go to class because these lunatics are running around with covers on their face, screaming terrifying things. If you told us that's what you intended to do when you came to America, we would have never let you in. And if you do it once you get in, we're going to revoke it and kick you out.
Okay, I mean, that's it. This, them trying to make this some constitutional argument is insane. This guy's a terrorist activist. And, what's happened in New York is they've been so overwhelmed by this type of person that they think it's normal. They think we're the crazy ones. I've seen these people in the protests, and I got news for you. Here in Florida, New Yorkers retire down here. How many of you in this audience are retired from New York City? How many of you are retired New York police officers? New York City police officers, sometimes I'll have a retired police officer call in. There's a lot of respect for New York City police officers because the New York City Police Department historically is the finest in the world. When someone says they're a retired, because in Florida, we got so many retirees here. You meet retired cops all the time, but when you meet a retired New York City police officer, that commands respect. I saw the New York City officers that were handling these Islamic terrorist supporters over the arrest of this guy. Overweight women, like 5 feet tall. What is going on here? What New York's finest is like New York's fattest out of shape. What an embarrassment. And, the reason I bring this up is that New York City has been so wokeified, okay, like they've done in England, that the people that are active for the release of this terrorist activist, they're in this bubble where this is normal and acceptable, and it's not. We got our country back with the re-election of President Trump. We almost lost our country. You understand? The people that say that this terrorist activist has a right to be in this country would have outlawed people like me wearing Make America Great Again hats if Kamala Harris or Joe Biden had become president. All right, let's go. You're on the air. Oh, sorry, wrong line. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Joe. How are you doing?
I'll let you know in a minute.
You won't let me know in a minute? All right.
No, you don't sound. You sound like a low quality caller just by your tone in the beginning. So, I don't know. We'll see. What do you have to contribute? Okay. So maybe I'm wrong about you.
Maybe you are. I don't know. That's a very interesting way to introduce yourself to a caller. First time caller.
Welcome.
Second time listener. I guess I subscribed last night just because I was interested in talking to a Trump supporter. Because I like talking to people outside of my echo chamber.
Your echo chamber. You don't support President Trump? My goodness, why not?
Various reasons.
Pick your biggest gripe. Pick your biggest gripe with him.
The thing that I'm interested in talking about, the thing that I was like, I heard last night, you had a advertisement for gold. I guess I'm wondering why you
first of all, we have very few. Slow down a second. You're new, so you're new to the program, so you don't know the rules. We have very few rules on this program. Okay. Very few rules, and I'll give you the basic rules. There may be one or two, okay? Sure. One, no profanity. That's one rule. Two, you can call only one time per day, okay? Three, there's four rules. No, hold on. You haven't three, Friday is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Monday through Thursday, callers, you have to call in to talk about what I'm talking about. And then on Friday, we turn the show over to, you rank amateurs on Open MAGA Mike Friday. And then finally, you can't, we don't talk about our sponsors with callers that are criticizing them. Those are the prohibitions on the program. But I'll ask you, but you're new, so you don't know that, okay? Okay. But you don't support Trump. You got a lot of grievances, and I'm just telling you because you're new. Okay, it's okay. But this is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. But we gain new listeners each and every day. You don't support Trump. You got a lot of grievances. Give me the biggest reason that you don't support him. Like, what's your biggest gripe with our favorite president?
There's just so many.
Well, pick the
I
biggest.
guess the authoritarianism.
Authoritarianism. Give me an example of him using authoritative powers beyond the scope of his constitutional authority.
Lafayette Square. Do you know it?
Tell me about it. What did he do? What happened?
So this was during some protests, which are protected by the First Amendment.
This was his first term, right?
This was in his first term, and these are things that he did as president.
No, Lafayette Square. Let's just focus on that. Tell me what they were doing.
No.
And what he did that was wrong.
I will, and I just want to preface this. This is things that he did as president, and not things that I'm conjecturing.
Okay, well let's just tell me about what happened at Lafayette Square and what they did and what he did that you think was wrong.
Okay, there were protests. He went out with a Bible, which I know a lot of religious evangelicals love, but he held it upside down. Very interesting. So there is the White House. I don't know if you've been to Washington D.C.
I'm waiting for the authoritative part that he did that was illegal outside of his powers. What did he do that was wrong?
Oh, he squashed a First Amendment protected protest. So he is against the First Amendment. Is that what you want me to get to? Do you want me to give you context?
No, excuse me. What happened is these were not protests. These were riots. They were vandalizing the area. They were setting buildings on fire, including the church across the street from the White House where he held up the Bible. They attacked the White House. The White House had to shut off the lights. This was at night, and 80 Secret Servicemen were actually injured when they were trying to scale the fence of the White House. So no, they did something wrong there. You're just not informed. You spend too much time on MSNBC or something. You just don't know what's going on.
I don't like MSNBC. Okay, so with that in hand, so I will just let that stand. Can you tell me the difference between that and going into the Capitol and defecating onto Nancy Pelosi's desk? I don't even like Nancy Pelosi.
Wait a second. Listen, I follow the news very closely. Are you telling me that President Trump went into the Capitol and defecated on Nancy Pelosi's desk?
No. Are you unsure about what happened on January 6th?
Oh yeah, I know what happened. I know what happened. No riot. What happened? What happened? What did Donald Trump do? What did Donald Trump do? Excuse me. What did Donald Trump do on January 6th that was wrong?
Inciting.
When did he? Excuse me. Slow down. What did he do to incite something?
Okay. So there were a bunch of premeditative posts.
What did he say? What did he say that incited something that was wrong?
We are going to march to the Capitol.
That's not what he said.
And then
that's not what he said. He didn't use the word we.
No,
he said go to the Capitol peacefully and let your voices be heard peacefully. He said peacefully.
Do you understand how to parse sarcasm?
No, that wasn't sarcasm.
That there were gallows?
That was not sarcasm.
Gallows at the Capitol. I don't even like Mike Pence, but they created gallows. That's absolutely
Who created gallows? Who put the gallows up?
Trump supporters.
Really?
I mean,
slow down. Have you seen? The Capitol has surveillance cameras all over it. It's our nation's capital. Have you seen any video of Trump supporters who have been identified who were building gallows in front of the Capitol building?
I have.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. If you did, no. I didn't. Hold on. I know you sound high. You smoking weed? I know you've seen video and photographs of the gallows. What I asked you was this. Have you seen video of MAGA people who have been identified building them in front of the Capitol?
You're trying to get so atomistic.
I'm trying to get what? Atomistic? I don't know what that word means. Atomistic? Listen, there's no video. There's no video of it. If I got together with my buddies.
Dude, they
Excuse me,
literally broke into
if
the
I got to
Capitol,
what
broke
do you
into windows, they
if
broke-
explain to
I'm
slow
sorry,
down.
You have to let.
Slow down.
You have to slow down as well. You can't
I don't
just
know.
come
I'm
in
hosting
and
the show.
every time
No, I don't
try
have to do what you tell me. You called me. Okay, I didn't call you. This is my
Okay, cool.
program.
And
You
I
got
don't have
to
to
go
do
by
it
my.
for me.
All right.
Cool.
if
Bitch
you-
off, fucker.
Okay, there you go, Mike. Had to use the dump button for the first time today. First time we had to use the dump. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're late for a break anyway, so the delay will build back up during the break. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show, back after this. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, at least he subbed. Yes. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to finish what I was saying to him. I was going to do it with him, but, since he used the profanities. Millennials and Gen Zers are big on the F word. It's like their favorite word. We'll be back on the air in 2 minutes. I'm going to finish with what I was saying to him. Wandering existence, these are callers, not guests. Okay? These are callers, not guests. Guest is somebody that I call up. I invite them on the program. I might have them in studio. That's a guest. These are callers. And he broke like a bunch of rules. He used profanity. It's not open phones. He talked about what he wanted to talk about. He's trying to talk about attack a sponsor. He broke like 3 rules. And we have very few rules. So, I thought I was very patient. He broke a big rule right out the gate, but he's new. And I went over the rules with him. So, there you have it. Right? He called in. He broke a rule. I explained, and then I went over the rules with him, which I rarely do, but I said, I'm going to do this because you're new and you don't know. You're new to the program. I love people who disagree and challenge me. And I was talking about what he brought up. I'm going to finish explaining what I was explaining. And it'll make perfect sense when I'm finished. Even to him, not that he would admit it. I didn't catch his name, though. All right, we'll be back in about 30 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're new, this is where MAGA comes to talk. My name's Brian. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, please like the video. 20 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. I'm going to finish what I was explaining to that caller. And unfortunately, I took that break 6 minutes late, so this will be a short segment, guys. And I was very patient with him. He broke a big rule right out the gate. I explained it to him, but said since he's new, and I explained to him the rules of the program, which are not unreasonable rules. And he broke at least 3 of them, right? He tried to attack a sponsor. He was talking about something I wasn't talking about when it's not Open MAGA Mike Friday. He used profanity as well. But he's welcome to call back again if he can control himself. That's the participation trophy generation. But I'm going to finish my thought. And I wanted to do this with him, but since he, dropped an F-bomb, we had to let him go and hit the dump button. He said that MAGA people put up gallows, and I'd asked him, have you seen video of MAGA people who have been identified erecting gallows in front of the Capitol building? And we've seen video of them there and photographs, but have you seen anyone building them? And those gallows were pretty big. If you and your buddies showed up with a pickup truck filled with lumber and started building gallows in front of a government building, don't you think they would come out and stop you? It takes time to do it. It's a big structure. You got to pull up with the lumber. You've got hammers. You've got nails. It takes a while to build those things because they got to be done in a certain way. They don't stop you? Of course they would stop you. I would say that the Pelosi crew and the Milley crew that were behind everything on that day were behind. Those gallows were probably built by the U.S. government, the same people that shot President Trump in Butler and try to do it again at the golf course, the ones that killed Kennedy. They're the ones that put the gallows up. All right? And I think that, makes sense to most everyone, doesn't it? But you know what I've noticed with the left, and you hear this with the callers, they're angry in mental cases. What you have, I'm not calling the last caller a Nazi, okay? But you can see how the Nazis were so successful in recruiting young people. They get these young, angry losers, and they pollute their mind with bizarreness, and you hear the anger. And hear their anger when they're challenged. You hear it with me. And I'm not just talking about that last caller. Yesterday, there were multiple examples of that on the program. When liberals call in, they lose it. They lose it. And they're unstable people. And these are the ones that were running the country. After the top of the hour, there's some other things I'm going to get into. But what's going on in New York City with the deportation of this Hamas agitator, activist, and spokesperson and representative. And remember, Hamas is Iran. This is going to end up in the right way. Marco Rubio is handling it perfectly. There's going to be others that are deported. We're just not going to hear about it. They're going to, as we were talking about with a previous caller, process them on the plane, and we'll find out about it when they are no longer in the country. And, those of you that oppose Trump, most of you are like that guy I was just talking to. And I'll give him a pass. It was his first time. And it was his first time being challenged. And I understand by somebody that knows what they're talking about. So when someone's new to the program, you're facing reality for the first time in your life on these issues. It can be uncomfortable for you, and you may lose it like that guy did. So he's welcome to call again, not today. You can call tomorrow or another day. I'm not banning that caller. He is welcome to call back, even though he broke at least 3 of the rules. All right? And I'll give him another chance. Now, if he does it again, it's another story. But I like talking to people and people listening who don't agree. Because anytime Steve and I do an appearance, I always meet at least one person and sometimes multiple people who tell me, I used to be a liberal. I used to be a never Trumper, but I'm a conservative now. I'm a Republican now. I'm MAGA now. I hear that all the time. And that's because we do invite people to tune in and participate who don't agree. Now, you're going to be challenged, okay? And that's it. And when you got a pod person on and you're giving them reality and they're seeing the real world for the first time and they're about to be taken out of the matrix, it gets uncomfortable for them, and they lose it a lot. Now, we're coming up on the top of the hour. I'll take some more calls after the top of the hour break, and there's a lot more to cover as well. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. It's Thursday morning. This week has flown by. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. 888-465-2631. Have any of you bought gas lately and noticed how much cheaper it is? We are now at the price gas was when President Trump left office on his last day of his first term. It's amazing. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm Brian, back right after this. Our cat is, one of our kittens is wandering around looking for our older cat, Luna, who's her mommy. And she's going around, meow, meow. She's calling her. She does a different type of meow. She found her, but she was looking for her. Yes, we are on iHeart. Okay. Hey, it's right. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. We'll be back in about 90 seconds, maybe a little longer, and I'll pick you up. We're coming out of our top of the hour break when I'm taking you. All right, hold on. That's Attorney Barry Siegel. Yeah, can you hear her? It's a special meow when she's looking for her older cat. She's not her real mother, but she's adopted them. She's become their mother. 1 minute. $45 seconds. If you're on hold, hang in there. I never hated Teslas. That's something that liberals made up. We just don't want to be forced to buy them. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Hour number 2 has begun, and we're going to check in from the Siegel Law Group with Attorney Barry Siegel. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you this morning?
Great. What do you have for us today?
You know, there's no perfect time to get your estate planning done. It's one of those things that there's always something. There's always a difficult decision that needs to be made. Is it going to get any easier by waiting? We may not have the perfect choices for some of the fiduciary roles that we need to fill, but things are going to continue to change. The problem is, when is it that you're going to actually need this to be in place? And the answer to that question is, we don't know. None of us know when that time comes, where, God forbid, we become incapacitated, or, of course, when we're no longer here. And so we can't wait and wait and wait when tough decisions need to be made. We need to make decisions, get it done, and then you could always update it in the future. But you need to make sure that you and your loved ones are protected and have the peace of mind that it's taken care of.
That's right. And, it's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mentioned you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the program, and make sure you mention that when you call. And also, the Siegel Law Group can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. Here's the number. It's toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, you have a great day. Take care. Yeah, we're back. If you're on hold, hang in there. The last couple of days you can tell there's some major meltdowns going on with liberals in this audience. And it's painful, all this winning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
I'm just calling in because it was certainly Marco Rubio is right. Every time this country relaxes our rules, they take advantage of us. These people coming over here, get them the hell out of here, and we don't need people like that in our country. One time, this is something I saw yesterday. One time I was wanted to rent a Nazi uniform to go for Halloween, and it wasn't allowed. Yesterday, I see these two people walking around totally in black. The woman had just a little tiny slit that you could see her eyes, and walking around. And I was saying, don't they want to come to this country and be accepted? They're walking around. They didn't want to bother anybody. Everybody was looking at them in the store.
Well, the reason that the Democrats and the left are supporting this Hamas Iranian activist operative is because they think that Jews deserve to be hated on. Don't you get it? Yeah. I mean, that's the big secret. They're anti-Semites, and they think it's deserved. So they think he's doing great work.
Well, I'm glad that Marco Rubio's around and we're in power.
He's amazing. There was 10 years ago, a little rough start there with Trump on that campaign trail. And he has really come into his own, and I'm so proud that he's a Floridian. Florida, in Florida, we're running the whole country. We got the president, we got the Secretary of State, we've got the Attorney General, we've got the FBI director. We're going to have the deputy FBI director in a couple days with Bongino. Florida's running America.
Yeah, man. And Pam Bondi is fantastic. And you said something a while ago. She definitely doesn't. If she's 60, man, she either has a great plastic surgeon or she just doesn't age. But she don't look her age. That's for sure. She looks great.
I know that's the new 60. I mean, 60. When I used to think of 60-year-old ladies, it wasn't Pam Bondi.
Wasn't Pam Bondi, man. She looks great. I don't know how she's doing it, but whatever she did, she's doing good.
All right. Take care. I guess. Are you home?
Yes.
Is your wife home?
My wife is home.
Yeah, and you're talking about how good looking another woman is. Oh my goodness.
Well, she can't hear me.
She can't hear you. Okay. All right. She can't hear you. Okay. All right. Take care.
I better be quiet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Take care. She can't hear him. Okay. I knew something was up with that. Now, Ludnick, he announced President Trump's goal officially, which we've all been speculating on. Oh, this is going to cause liberal meltdowns.
How about no tax on tips? How about no tax on overtime? How about no Social Security? How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal.
So
wow. No, and I don't know if he was supposed to announce that, but President Trump's goal: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. And next, he wants no taxes on anyone making under $150,000 a year. What percentage of the American workforce is that? Like 90 what? 98%? What is it? I don't know. But that sounds pretty good to me. Don't you guys like that? Oh, man, that is so awesome. The liberals have meltdowns over that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once. Twice. Come on. I hear you breathing. What game are you playing? This is probably the guy that called earlier with the, Listen, when you embarrass yourself on the air, I just, guys, give you a rule, okay? And I know this will be hard for some of you to believe, but there's been a couple times in my career where I've done something stupid on the air, okay? Maybe embarrass myself. And what I've learned, when you humiliate yourself on the air, just don't reference it again. You come back tomorrow, you come back the day after tomorrow, don't reference it, people will forget. That's how it works. Very short attention span. So I apologize for you humiliating yourself. Oh yeah, I want to mention, because we talk so much about it, the space rescue by SpaceX. Of course, the launch was scrubbed last night, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh no, it's a disaster." I have lived in Florida since I was a little kid, and I watch all the space launches. And a lot of you, my house is due south of the Cape, but it's 2.5 hours away. I have never gone to see a launch in person. Okay, I sometimes I watch them from my driveway, my backyard, but I like to climb up on the roof and watch them. And the reason that I don't drive up there is because they get scrubbed all the time. Okay, all the time. It's so common. And it's 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back. I've never been able to get myself to drive up there for a launch because they get scrubbed so much. This is very normal. In fact, when I climb up on the roof, I usually climb up on the roof maybe 10 minutes, sometimes less, before the launch because they scrub them so much. And I was going to live stream this launch from my roof last night, and I was waiting. I was going to wait till maybe about 15, maybe 10 minutes before the launch and start a live stream on the roof to show it to you guys. And I didn't because I thought, well, they get scrubbed so much. And sure enough, it got scrubbed. That's all. So this is so normal. You have no idea. So no worries, guys. And they scrub them over the most minor things. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Justin from West Palm.
Yeah, Jeff in West Palm. Speak up.
Oops. Sorry, I took that speaker.
That's okay.
So is that tax? I don't know if that gentleman that you just played the clip of, was he talking about tax worker or tip workers that
he said the tax bill, this is what he was talking about. The tax bill that's coming up will have no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, and no taxes on Social Security. Okay, that's in the next tax bill. And he said what President Trump's ultimate goal is no taxes on anyone who earns less than $150,000 a year. That's what he was talking about.
That'd be interesting, yeah, because how are the lefties going to fight against that when they're saying tax the rich, but really only the rich are going to be left to tax?
That's right, and that's awesome, and that's one of the reasons the tariffs are good. I'd rather Canada pay tax than us. I mean, that's great. That's great. And that's who could be against that with a straight face?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's sad that the launch got scrubbed for whatever reason, but
it happens. There's another launch window. I think I heard there's a launch window Friday night, but I don't know. I'd like to go up for it, and I'll see what my schedule. If they launch over the weekend, I might, depending on what's on my schedule, I might go.
I was thinking about it yesterday because you were mentioning the ever Trumper astronaut. You know how you go up to a crowded elevator and be like, "Oh, I'll get the next one." You should be like, "Oh, I'll get the next rocket. I'll get the next rocket."
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this rescue operation, there's 4 astronauts on this SpaceX flight. 2 women and 2 men. The NASA astronauts are the 2 women. One's an Army colonel and the other one's an Air Force major. They're both women. And the 2 guys, the one's from Japan, the other guy, I don't know where he's from. This Nazi that they want to call him, Elon Musk, is sending a spaceship up, piloted and commanded by 2 women.
And they're not DEI; they're probably the best of the best. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When there's no tax on anyone earning less than $150,000 a year. That's got to be close to 99% of the workforce. It's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. No taxes. That's right.
Myself included, so I'll be
There,
happy about that.
you'll be high-fiving. Take care, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, isn't that awesome? He's going to give America a raise. Oh, man, this show is flying by. All right, let's take our first break of the second hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Polycase's AN series of die-cast aluminum enclosures are designed to house sensitive electronic assemblies in...
The president...
I'm talking to Mike, the board op. Okay, if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Yes or no? Do you support no taxes on anyone earning under $150,000? What do you think? No taxes on anyone earning under $150,000. Do you support that? Yes or no? I do. Heck yeah. Yeah, how could you be against that? If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in just over a minute. Mm-hmm. Well, not just tariffs, you cut back on the spending. As they're doing. You cut back on the spending. Very few people pay income taxes. Payroll taxes and income taxes are different. And if you make over $150,000, I guess you would only be taxed on the income above. Oh, my goodness. That would be awesome. No taxes on anyone earning under $150,000 a year. Who could be against that? Someone making $151,000 a year, I guess. All right, 10 seconds. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. So Lutnick, he let the cat out of the bag. President Trump's goal is to eliminate taxes on anyone making under $150,000 a year. Is there anyone in this audience against that? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that either way. That's awesome. How could you argue against that? Now, did you watch yesterday's events with the Prime Minister of Ireland? I watched a lot of that. How nice that was. He was so respectful of our president, of our country, of our people. You saw the mutual respect from the president towards Ireland. And I was surprised. 1 in every 10 Americans is Irish American. There's 5 million Irish citizens in Ireland, but we have 35 million Irish in America. And I never thought about Audie Murphy being Irish, but the Irish Prime Minister, he knew about all these famous American Irishmen. And he was so nice and so pleasant. That's how Canada should be with us, as opposed to being thugs, right? Did you see how nice and respectful the Irish were to us yesterday, and how respectful they were to them? This is amazing. Why is Canada so adversarial here? Why can't they be like the Irish? So yesterday, Carolyn Levitt, in the White House press briefing, went over about how Canada's ripping us off. Listen to this, and some other countries too.
The president is, again, responding to the fact that Canada has been ripping off the United States of America and hardworking Americans for decades. If you look at the rates of tariffs across the board that Canadians have been imposing on the American people and our workers here, it is egregious. In fact, I have a handy-dandy chart here that shows not just Canada, but the rate of tariffs across the board. If you look at Canada, since you brought it up, American cheese and butter, nearly 300% tariff.
Wow. 300% tariff? What the heck?
You look at India, 150% tariff on American alcohol. You think that's helping?
How much?
150% tariff on American alcohol.
150% tariff?
You think that's helping Kentucky bourbon be exported into India? I don't think so. 100% tariff on agricultural products from India. Look at Japan, tariffing rice, 700%. President Trump believes in reciprocity, and it is about dang time that we have a president who actually looks out for the interests of American businesses and workers. And all he's asking for at the end of the day are fair and balanced trade practices, and unfortunately, Canada has not been treating us very fairly at all over the past several decades.
Yeah, they haven't. And, you know, I'll tell you, this the Irish yesterday, that's how it's done. Or the Italians, the Italian Prime Minister, Meloni. That's how you do it. Very respectful to the United States. We're respectful to them. We love the Italian people. We love the Irish people. We love the Canadian people. But the Canadian leadership, they're acting like thugs, and they're ripping us off. And they're so entitled, aren't they? Well, they did cave, but still. This is a great time because our country is back. Our country's back, and I don't know how much you appreciate how close we came to losing our country. You know, you know what I watched a little bit this morning before the show? I do not recommend you do this, but I did it a little bit so I could talk about it. I watched a little bit of Michelle Obama's podcast with her weirdo brother. Her weirdo brother, what does he do for a living? Is he a drag queen or something? I don't know. He's a strange looking dude. And, so, you know, I was really, this podcast is not going to be good for Michelle Obama. And you know why? People are going to get to see what she's really like. You know, Michelle Obama, there's a lot of people that on the left who they just love Michelle Obama. Well, they don't know what she's really like. And when you're doing a podcast or a radio show and you're talking like this, like I'm doing, you get to know what people's real personalities are like. You know, I give you a great example. I used to be a big fan of Survivor and Jeff Probst, because I remember when Jeff Probst was on E! Entertainment Television, and when E! first started, they had no programming. And it was kind of like MTV, but in the early days of MTV. But instead of playing music videos, they played movie trailers. And they had hosts like Jeff Probst who would introduce movie trailers. Do you remember that era? And I remember him back then. And I was a big fan of Survivor. And he had a talk show for a while that's been canceled. And I watched it a couple times. I didn't go out of my way to watch it. My wife was in the hospital. and the TV had very limited channels, and she was in the hospital for a few days, and I watched the Jeff Probst talk show a couple days in a row. I saw 3, maybe 4 times total. He is so unlikable when you see what his real personality is. He's just not he's a nasty, in love with himself kind of guy. And I haven't watched Survivor really since. I try sometimes, but he's so unlikable. Well, that's the kind of experience I think a lot of Michelle Obama worshipers are going to have if they watch this podcast, okay, of hers. She thinks this podcast is going to introduce her to the people. Oh, keep doing it, Michelle. You're doing a great job helping Trump. Now, Charlie Kirk, I was talking yesterday about Charlie Kirk and Michael Savage making big mistakes going on the Newsom podcast. And his third guest was another conservative, Steve Bannon, was Newsom's guest on his podcast yesterday. He's dropping a lot of episodes, isn't he? Another bad news thing. Okay, now Charlie Kirk went over there. I told you Newsom is manipulating these conservatives. So he manipulated Charlie Kirk, who's a clout chaser for the views and the clicks and everything. He manipulated and he walked Charlie Kirk down the garden path to give him an out on the transgender issue. Yesterday I was talking about Michael Savage, who's one of the most pathetically insecure people in the history of broadcasting, I'm here to tell you. And I know a lot of celebrities and radio people that are insecure. No one even comes close to Michael Savage. And Newsom lured Michael Savage in so he could brag about the millionaire's tax that he's got to pay and that he's got homes all over America. And then Michael Savage lets it be known that he's got a friend who's an illegal Mexican, been here for 20 years paying taxes, and and people like him should be allowed to stay. It was crazy. So Bannon, what did he manipulate him with? Bannon hates Elon Musk. You know, remember, I like Steve Bannon, don't get me wrong. I like Steve Bannon, but Trump fired him in the first term, and then he started calling him sloppy Steve Bannon. And Steve Bannon, I feel, is a little upset. He's on the outs with MAGA world. He's not an insider anymore. He still has contacts and is there from time to time, but he doesn't have the president's ear and all that stuff like he used to. And he's jealous of Elon Musk. So he goes on there yesterday with Newsom trashing Elon Musk. And I point this out to you guys because Newsom is, and this is saying a lot. Newsom may be the greatest manipulator I've ever seen in politics. He knows how to manipulate these very smart guys, Bannon, Savage, Charlie Kirk. He manipulates these guys. He knows what their vice is, and he hooks them in. He knows that Steve Bannon's got an obsession with his anger towards Elon Musk, his jealousies, and boom, right there. And he got Bannon trashing Elon with him. These guys, I was surprised Bannon was the third conservative. I don't know who else is going to be there, but they just don't understand how much they're helping this guy. And he is bad news. I'm telling you, he is bad news. We do not want him to be the Democrat nominee. I'm not saying he could win against Trump's endorsed successor, but a lot of Democrats will vote for him that may have voted for Trump in this last election. And Bannon, Savage, and Charlie Kirk are helping Newsom. It's pretty bad. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, I'll go to the calls. We got a lot more to talk about as well, but I'll go to the calls after the break. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Ungun, the non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight and simple to use. It uses an...
But then you also overnight have this post claiming that protests at Tesla...
President Trump was facing...
This military-engineered lung trainer can help minimize shortness of breath, and with just 10 minutes of daily use.
Finally, we have some good...
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm going to go to the phones. You're welcome to call in about anything I brought up in the last, just over 90 minutes. The show's flying by. We've passed the halfway point. It's Thursday. Holy smokes. And the cruise is right around the corner. Oh, man. We leave in just a couple of weeks. I can't wait. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Bob from Pompano Beach.
Hey, Bob. What's up?
So, just no tax on tips or Social Security. I think it's great, and it's 150,000 people making less than 150,000. Like even DeSantis in Florida, he wants to have no real.
Oh, you're cutting out. If you could get off the Bluetooth, I could. You're cutting out, and you're on the Bluetooth. Can you pick up the phone? I know you're driving.
Oh, okay.
But I'll give you the break. That's okay. If you're on hold, hang in there. It sounds like you have something interesting.
So,
you're talking about. Did you mention DeSantis wants to do away with property tax?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that has to be voted on. So how is Trump going to do all this with taxes? Doesn't it have to be voted on in the Congress?
Well, yeah, we're going to have the tax bill is going to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security as promised. That's going to be in the tax bill, which hasn't been introduced yet. It will be. We don't have a date on it, but it will be soon because I've heard members of Congress and the White House talk about this, okay? But what Lutnick let the cat out of the bag, but maybe he did it on purpose, maybe Trump wanted him to, his ultimate goal is no income tax on those earning under $150,000 a year. That would have to go through Congress too. Yeah, but we've got the Congress.
So you really think all this is going to pass and be done with soon?
Well, the under 150, no. But the no tax on Social Security, overtime, and tips, yes. those are people that those are the lowest income people, okay, in the workforce, and they've never gotten a tax break before because they don't pay income taxes. They only pay payroll taxes. It may be one of the biggest tax cuts in history that tips Social Security and overtime.
And on schools and everything will be funded by tariffs.
No, I'm not talking about DeSantis. DeSantis is full of it, okay? He's running for president. So he's trying to take Trump's ideas and translate them into his campaign. So he's talking about no property tax in Florida. We have no state income tax? How would we pay for everything without property? I mean, my property tax is high, and I would rather get our homeowners insurance taken care of. That's more realistic.
Right.
But he's just throwing stuff out there for his presidential run and for his wife's fantasy of being governor. He can't get rid of property. First off, property tax is done at the county level. Okay? And the counties are funded off the property tax too. So he couldn't do it. It's just not going to happen. I wish it would. But they could increase the what is it we get, the homestead. They could increase the homestead. I'd like that. Quadruple the homestead exemption or something. They could do that.
Well, I'm just so happy that it's about time that some of us, majority of Americans, are not going to be so much taxed anymore because we work so hard, and there's got to be some kind of relief.
My guess would be, this would be my guess, the $150,000 no tax on those under 150. That sounds like what they'll run on in the midterms.
Okay.
Or they'll do it right before. Yeah. I hope they do it before the midterms because the result of the midterms is an unknown. We may not win them. Yeah. We could, but we may not. So do it before, and that's a great issue to run on. I don't know what percentage.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said it's refreshing because for the ones that are not wanting to tax people, where the Democrats always put more taxes on.
They've been the Democrats for the last couple of months have been telling us the taxes are terrible, right? They talk about the import taxes being so devastating to economies. So you've never heard Democrats argue against taxes, and they've been doing it with a passion lately. I don't know what percentage of the workforce earns under $150,000, but it's got to be close to 99% of the workforce.
Well, I'm sure it's definitely the majority for sure.
Oh, well over 90%. Well over 90%. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for taking my call and explaining all this. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Take care. See how excited he is over that? Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian. It's Ben from Papadome.
Hey, Ben. What's up?
Hey, so I completely agree with you about what you were saying with Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon. I find it so funny. If Gavin Newsom was ever to make it to the White House, he would throw them in jail. Joe Biden did this game where he pretended he was a moderate. You and I and everyone who follows the show knows better. And then he got in, and everyone else was shocked but us. I mean, we knew it was going to be bad. We just didn't know.
It really shows you. Really shows you the insecurities and egos of these guys. That there's so many. Steve and I have worked together for a long time, and this will be hard for you guys to maybe believe, listening to us on the air. There's no ego with the two of us, and that is very almost. It's literally unheard of in this type of business. And these guys are so pathetic. Michael Savage is insecure because he's a short guy, probably has a very small penis. So he wanted to go on there and come on, he wanted to go on there and brag that he pays the millionaire's tax in California. He has a house in the Bay Area, a house in Florida, and Charlie, I believe Charlie is under financial pressure. He's got a lot of overhead, and a lot of the donors have dried up because Trump's gotten reelected. And he's clout chasing, and Bannon hates Elon, and he went on there and bashed Elon Musk.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed with some of these conservatives who start to get a little more successful, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, is they start hobnobbing with, really high-end people. They almost become like quasi-celebrities, right? They're hanging with cool people, and then they start becoming friends with the enemy. And you see this with Ben Shapiro a lot. He's so chummy with so many Democrats that, these people would have thrown us in jail during COVID. And then, like Bakari Sellers on CNN, Ben's like, oh, I believe he's a good guy. And Charlie's doing the same thing. He's getting a little too comfortable with these people who are trying to raid our president.
Well, Charlie Kirk had
in jail for 700 years.
Who's that fat guy with the Young Turks? That shit Unger? What's his name?
Shank Ugar.
Yeah,
Shank
he had Charlie Kirk had Shank at the Turning Point event. I was in shock.
I know.
I mean, what the heck?
I know. I mean, this is why we lose, because we're like, oh look, they're playing nice. They've turned a new corner. They don't understand.
Well, you know what I wondered about Shank? I don't know this. I just wonder. Did he pay?
He's a psychopath.
Did he? Yes. Did he donate money to get that guest spot?
I don't know. I know the AmFest, like, one of their claim to fame is all the people go. They don't. It's not like Kamala and they're paying Beyonce $5 million. Everyone who goes, they go because they want to go, and I do respect that.
And I like Charlie Kirk, but if you remember, a couple years, he's young, and he's also overwhelmed. Okay, I'm not saying he's overwhelmed by the whole thing. He always looks tired. Remember a year or two ago at the Turning Point event, they set the stage up. It looked like a swastika from above. Remember that? And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And it just shows that that would never get by Trump or me. That would never happen, because I would go up in the rafters and look at the setup, and I would see it right away. So he's been manipulated before. These are and Savage is so insecure. Come on.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm pretty clued in. I don't know much about Savage, but I believe you. I mean, if you're going with Newsom, it's such madness to me. He was our poster child for like left wing insanity. He was like what we thought of when we spoke of like Democrat run anything. He was the worst of the worst, and now they're helping him with his 2028 presidential run, which he will use to open the border again. They've set a precedent now. They're not going to go back from Biden. Biden is now the new standard bearer. They're going to throw their opponents in jail. And you know what? I'm not going to feel bad for Steve. He thinks it's all fun and games. Oh, we're going to talk it up with our enemies. Rachel Maddow, Gavin Newsom.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I told you, Bannon, his vice is he's not on the inside. He's jealous of Elon, so he goes on there and he bashes Elon. Here's the thing with Newsom, because I've heard from a lot of people in the audience DMing me and stuff, and they say, well, you talk to these liberal jerks on the air, like that guy in the first hour, Jay from Jersey. They're not what Gavin Newsom is manipulating these sad, insecure MAGA people, okay, to humanize himself with Democrats that voted for Trump and trying to win them back. And I believe he's having success. And he's he's manipulating these people like I've never seen people be manipulated before.
Oh, it's so obvious. Like, I'm watching it, and he's coming across as the most even-keeled, balanced, moderate, like, type of Joe Manchin Democrat. It's like, are you people out of your mind? Are we just going to pretend that this guy wasn't a raving left?
Remember, he was the mayor of San Francisco. I mean, that's as left-wing as it gets, man.
I know. He was the vanguard of, like, he was the one taking point on every major left-wing, like, drag queen story hour. He protects. Kids getting trans, he protects. And now, because they just saw that they lost like crazy, everyone's starting a podcast. The Democrat money has come in, and the Democrat podcast network has been erected overnight. You have Michelle Obama, Gavin Newsom, because they were all complaining about Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and how the right-wing bros have the podcast space. So this is totally astroturfed. And we got chumps like Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon who are completely playing into it. And they're helping them. They're bringing him exposure.
And they got all these. Each of them has a different dysfunction, but Newsom, he knows their dysfunction, and he manipulates them using the dysfunction. I'm waiting to see who's next.
He's so smart. Newsom has been reported he's like an avid watcher of Fox News because he's always trying to understand us.
And
right?
He does.
He's always trying to understand. Yeah, and he knows exactly what to say. I mean, like, if you rise to the top of California politics, I mean, you can be Kamala and you can be an idiot. But if you're the governor, usually you're a pretty smart dude. And it's so, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's just so opportunistic And
Yeah, listen, I got to
so-
run for the break, but I appreciate the call. You make some good points, and I want to tell you guys about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. Oh my goodness, it's just amazing to me. He's rid me of arthritis, my shoulder injuries. 7 times he's rid me of pain. His laser treatment works. It not only is it completely painless, you don't even feel it. Okay, there's no shots, no injections, no medications of any kind. And what the laser treatment does, it repairs the damage in your body that is causing you the pain. That's why the 7 times that he's treated me and rid me of pain, it hasn't returned, because he's fixed what was broken in my body. Works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. I thought aches and pains were part of growing older, because I remember my grandparents when they were my age that I am today. Well, it's not a part of growing older. It doesn't have to be, because of Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment. They didn't have the laser wave pain treatment and Dr. Appleton in practice when my grandparents were my age, okay? So give them a call and say bye-bye to your pain. Remember, appointments aren't necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. If you're on hold, hang in there. Welcome back, everyone. Call us on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name's Brian Craig. We've covered a lot. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. It's Joanne in Tamarack.
Hey.
I would just like to say that a couple of days ago, the Secretary of Transportation's wife, Rachel Campos Duffy, said on Fox News just what you are saying about going on with Newsom.
Great.
She was upset that these conservatives are going on and helping him. And she did talk about it a bit. So if she knows that, then her husband knows that, and then I would think that Trump knows that, and would give out some kind of message to these people to be very careful or don't do it. And I was wondering, with your expertise, if you get invited, would you consider going or give them an emphatic no, thank you?
I would like to say I would probably want to do it. But see, if I went on there, it would be different than these guys. These guys have, I don't know. I'm not as famous as they are. You know what I mean? So I could I could show off. I would go there and tear them up. Okay? I wouldn't be there, but I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I would go there and tear them up. So I would.
I wonder.
Yeah. But then I'd get on the list.
I wonder the people that they are picking to go on, if they already did in digging into well, like you said, they know their soft spots, and that's why they're picking them, I guess, to go on. But I'm super surprised at Steve Bannon.
Well, here's, you ask, would I go on? See, I'm in a different situation than they're in. I'm well known to an extent, but I'm not as well known as I should be, right? I would hope you guys agree with that. These guys are already famous. Every conservative in America knows Bannon and knows Charlie Kirk, and most know Savage. I'm not as famous as they are. So I could gain a lot from that, but it would be a totally different experience. I would go after him. And they're not. They're going up there for other reasons.
Right. But if you get an invitation,
See, here's the thing, because I know some people will say you're a hypocrite. No. It depends on who does it. I give you an example. Jennings on CNN, okay? This is a textbook example. Jennings, he's the conservative on CNN. If he went on Newsom, he would humiliate Newsom. You understand? So if you went if you went there to tear him down, that's different. These three, Charlie went for clout chasing, Savage went to brag, and Bannon went to trash Elon. Okay? If Jennings went there, he would bring down Newsom. It would not be pleasant. Okay? And I would like to think I could do the same. It's different.
He tried doing this with DeSantis on Hannity, a year or so ago, when they had their debate, and DeSantis pretty much.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Levin. I wouldn't be surprised if Mark Levin went on. Mark Levin did two things. In the first campaign, he was a never Trumper. Okay? I know he likes to wash that away, but he was a never Trumper. But Trump endorsed him and gave him his backing, and I forgot about it, right? But then, during the primaries, Mark Levin interviewed DeSantis, and I missed the interview. A listener called and said, watch it. I listened to it when I got off the air. It was an infomercial. I was so angry at him. He didn't challenge him once. That was it. I'll never trust Mark Levin again. So, but if a conservative went up there and filleted him, Newsom, it's different. They're going up there and they're buddying up with him.
Yeah, well, I don't know why, unless, like you said, they are not stupid people.
I gave you the reasons why, but the problem is this should frighten people at what a great manipulator he is. And let me tell you, maybe it would be a bad idea for me to do it. Maybe I should think about that, because I'm not going to get the invite, and I'll tell you why. I've seen him work this. He's got evil powers. He's got like superpowers when it comes to manipulation, because Charlie Kirk, Michael Savage, and Steve Bannon are smart people, and they were manipulated. So maybe I would be manipulated too. So maybe I should retract what I said, and under no circumstances. He's got some type of mind control manipulation power. And I've never seen anybody that's been able to manipulate like that. So maybe I should take that back, and maybe I wouldn't even be able to take it. Maybe his superpowers are so strong that even I couldn't, or even Jennings on CNN would not be able to not succumb to them.
Well, when he did the debate with DeSantis, he was lying. The lies were flowing out of his mouth. Hannity had all the information up on the screen, and still he made you believe what he was saying, like the taxes in Florida. We don't have taxes in Florida.
That's right.
He was saying we do, and he made it sound so true, and yet they have it on the screen showing you the stuff he's saying is not true, but he made you think it was true. Mm-hmm. So maybe none of them should go on the show. Anyway, thank you very much.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, I got to rethink that. This guy is so good. Maybe I would fall victim to. You know what it's like? It's like it's like a witch that has some type of potion that they give a man to make him do things. That's what he's got. He's got like some type of potion. But I would like to think I could clean his clock. I would. But I'll tell you this. I know a lot of you have taken my advice and gone to see Dr. Zuckerman over a coastal weight loss secret. Oh, man. I lost over 25 pounds in less than a month. I feel great. I look great. I was telling a caller in the first hour, I am packing for the cruise on Sunday. And the cruise, we don't leave till the 29th. And the reason I'm packing is I have to try on all my fancy cruise clothes that I only wear once a year to see what fits me and what doesn't. I might have to go and take my suit in and have it altered. All my pants are all falling down. So I'm packing so early to try on the clothes to see what fits me and what doesn't. And that's why I'm packing so early for the cruise. It is absolutely amazing. I have not done one step of exercise. None. Zero. I don't walk. I don't do anything. The only thing I run is my mouth. I don't do any exercise at all. I'm not eating weirdo food. I'm eating foods that I like. I'm not hungry all the time, and I've lost over 25 pounds. It's absolutely amazing, and I feel so good. And one thing I noticed, other than that my clothes have been falling off my body, which is absolutely amazing, I lost the weight where I wanted to lose it, my stomach and my waist. I've noticed my skin, I'm like glowing. My skin looks great. And I feel great too. I have never had this much energy in my life. Towards the end of the day, when it gets to be around 4, 5, 6 in the afternoon, I've been up 14, 15 hours, and I'm still ready to go. I have so much more energy that I've lost all this weight. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightloss.secret.com. That's coastalweightloss.secret.com. Now, we'll take our break for the top. Steve Kane will be joining us, and I want to review what's been going on with this terrorist that Marco Rubio is trying to deport, that the Democrats are trying to keep here. But this thing with Steve Bannon, I was surprised to see Steve Bannon on the Newsom podcast. I really was. And when I heard him bashing Elon, I was surprised at that. I know he hates Elon, and I've heard him try to bring Elon down before, but to do it there, I just, right now, Newsom's the favorite to win the Democrat nomination. And we don't want to run against him. I'm not saying that he'll beat whoever Trump endorses, but we don't want it to be him. Because I'm seeing these powers that he has over these great minds. All right. Wow, 2 hours are already gone? Where is the show gone? The show's just flying by today. All right, our number is, if you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. 888-465-2631. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the top and be right back. All right, you there? All right, I'm going to put you on... Okay, I'm going to put you on hold. It's going to be a couple minutes, okay? Hold on. Hey, it's Brian. Hey, I'm going to put you on hold. It's going to be, let me see what time. It's going to be about 90 seconds, and I'll be to you. Okay? Hold on. Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and we'll be back in about a minute, but I got Scott. So do you want to be on with Scott or not?
No, just say.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold then, and then I'll take him, and then I'll go to you. Okay.
Yep.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. The third hour has begun of Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And on the line from Cut My Kilowatts, we have Scott, who's going to tell you how he's going to save you boatloads of money for the rest of the time you live in your home. Scott, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's cool outside right now, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be getting ungodly hot soon. And right now, if you can need insulation work, radiant barrier work, duct work, you give us a call. And I mean, I'm doing the insulation and the radiant barrier for like $1 a square foot, and that's like a 40-cent saving per foot on the radiant barrier, and 20 cents on the insulation. Radiant barrier is a very unique product. I brought it to South Florida about 15 years ago when I started with your radio show, and it gets stapled on the bottom of the roof trusses, up in the attic, so no one can see it, but it reflects all the energy of the sun back out of the attic. So your attic lowers the temperature 30 to 40 degrees. Your the radiant wave is cut off, so the insulation doesn't get hot up there. Your ductwork doesn't get hot. I mean, it's a real game changer for the house. It also could save you, 30 to 40, up to 30 to 40% on your electric bill. And right now, the government has a 30% tax credit for
wow.
You get 30% back on your income taxes. So it's never been a cheaper time to do it than right now, when the weather's cool and we can get it done quick, and we're not dying up there in that attic.
Yeah,
summer,
this time of year when the weather's a little cooler, they can be up in the attic longer, because during the summer you can only be up there a few minutes at a time because of the heat. So Scott is saving quite a bit on the labor costs because the job's getting done faster. Plus this 30% tax credit you're talking about. This is the perfect time. Now I'm going to give you Scott's number. This is his cell phone. You can call or text. He'll call you right back if you miss him. 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. All right, Scott, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
All right, thanks. Thank you, Brian.
All right, take care. All right, and Steve Kane joining us. Steve, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's another glorious day in MAGA world.
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, I know. So there's a lot going on. So I don't know. Did you have somewhere you wanted to go? Or
I have nowhere to go, but I put myself in your hands.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds like some of the callers I've had this morning. They got nowhere to go. They got a lot of strong opinions in talking point form.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so worried about.
Oh my.
Mr. Newsom.
Well, no, you got, Steve, this thing. I know a lot of people think I am making too big of a deal about Newsom, okay? Because I've heard from some people in the audience, and now you're saying I'm not, and I'm telling you, because I've listened to these interviews that he's done, and he has destroyed Charlie Kirk, Michael Savage, and now the great Steve Bannon. Michael Savage isn't so difficult because he's such an ego.
I have to see it to believe it, or hear it to believe it.
Well, I'll give you a recap of what's going on. And if I'm wrong about this, guys, call in. And I know, Steve, we love to talk to people that disagree with them, but there's something different going on here with Newsom. Newsom is reinventing himself as a reasonable Democrat. And they know, when I say the Democrats know that they lost for a number of reasons, and a couple of the big issues are the transgendered issue, right? That's number one. He had Charlie Kirk on his first show. Charlie Kirk gave him a complete out on the transgender and men and women's sports. The other issue that the Democrats lost big on was the immigration issue. Michael Savage talked about a friend of his who's an illegal Mexican who pays taxes somehow. I guess he's got someone else's social security number, and how he should be legalized. So he humanized himself, Newsom, on the immigration issue with self-inflating Dr. Savage. And then Bannon came on yesterday to trash the great Elon Musk. And when you look at, there's a couple things to look at, Steve, with Newsom. Millions of Democrats that never voted Republican before voted for Trump, right? I mean, we know that, correct?
Yes, I would say.
Okay, but our majority in the House is slim, much slimmer than it should be based on Trump's turnout. And what that
very slim.
Yeah, and what that tells me is that a lot of Democrats voted for President Trump, but they still voted for Democrats in the House races. Okay, so because the Democrats were their presidential candidates, Biden and Willie Brown's girlfriend Kamala, had these wackadoodle positions on the trans issue and the border issue and some other things. So what Newsom is doing is making himself sound like a reasonable Democrat. And he's modeling himself after Bill Clinton in 96. If you remember, in 1994, Newt Gingrich led the Republican Revolution with the Contract for America. Republicans won control of the House and the Senate. And this may not sound like a big deal now, but in 1994, it was the first time Republicans controlled both houses of Congress for like 35 or 40 years at the same time, right? So, and Bill Clinton had to run for president 2 years later. And he had this, he really had a problem because he was a radical liberal and Newt Gingrich's positions were very popular. So Bill Clinton started adopting the Republican positions. The one I remember, it's been a long time, okay, but the one I really remember was welfare to work. Bill Clinton all of a sudden was supporting, if you're on welfare, you got to work. Right? Remember all that welfare to work? And there were other ones too. It's just been a long time. I don't remember. So Newsom is modeling his campaign after Bill Clinton's 96 campaign. He's humanizing himself. He's not going to win over Republicans, but to bring home some of those Democrats that voted for Trump, but voted for Democrat on the congressional races. And these dupes, Bannon, Savage, and Charlie Kirk, are helping him every step of the way. And there's really a psychological aspect to this. He may have some CIA or criminal profilers working on his team.
I'd love to be upset by this.
You have not seen these interviews, Steve. I mean, I've never seen it. I got to tell you, you and I, Newsom's powers of manipulation are greater than any manipulator I've seen in my life, because these are smart guys. I don't even know if you and I could withstand his powers. Newsom, he is a danger. I couldn't believe. Charlie Kirk is great. Bannon's great. Savage is weak. But the other two are spectacular. And they were so manipulated by him and destroyed. And it was done in a way that they don't even know it.
Well, then they weren't properly prepared, that's all.
Steve, you can't prepare for that. You either got it or you don't at that stage, right? We can't be prepared for what we got to face on the phones. We either got it or we don't. So Newsom's a danger, and Trump's not running next time. And we don't want him running. We want a dysfunctional candidate like Kamala Harris running. We want it to be as easy as possible for Trump's handpicked endorsed successor. You know, and
unfortunately, you can't pick your own candidate. We can't pick the other person's candidate. So we just got to deal with what we deal with.
Well, I think conservatives need to stop going on this show and helping Newsom. You haven't seen the interviews. You have not seen them.
I think I think I can hear you're scared, but
I'm not scared. I'm ticked off. I'm ticked off that they're helping him. That's what I'm not scared. I just don't. I'm upset with them. There's a lot of
ye of little faith.
Well, you know, Trump's not running again.
Little faith.
Trump's not running again. So Lutnick told us President Trump's plans on taxes, and I'm so excited about this, Steve. Okay, so they're going to introduce the tax bill: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. And we're going to win that.
When does the thing expire?
Those don't even exist yet. Those don't even exist yet. So,
well, I mean, we were trying to get I've lost track of what we're trying to.
Don't worry about the continuing resolution. That's going to be taken care of whenever. Right? Don't worry about that. That's all that sausage making is going to work out. I think that the Republicans secretly want a government shutdown because that's what Doge is trying to do. Remember, McMahon shut down the Department of Education so they could fire everybody.
They've got it set up to the best that I can figure out this morning and listening around the Dow that they're set up to blame it all on Schumer.
Yeah, I think Trump.
What are they calling it? Schumer's what?
Trump said he's a Palestinian. Trump said he's a Palestinian. He's no longer a Jew. He's a Palestinian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch some of that. And I'll throw this out to the audience. Do you guys agree or disagree with this? I believe President Trump, this continuing resolution conflict, is being done on purpose to shut down the government so they can start firing workers easier. Like Linda McMahon shut down the Department of Education to fire everybody so they weren't there. If the government shut down and everyone's home, it's easier to fire them. And
yeah, I think that's some truth in that.
So I think they want to shut the government down, the Republicans, President Trump, to help Doge do some more of their great work. But what Lutnick shared is what President Trump's ultimate goal is to have no taxes at all for those who earn under $150,000 a year. That's his main goal. No taxes for anyone who earns under $150,000 a year. And that sounds pretty good. That's like 98% of the workforce, maybe more. You know, so that's...
So with a platform like that, what are you scared of?
I'm not scared of anything. I just don't want to see some of our most famous Republicans help a Democrat, which is what they're doing. I'm not scared of anything. This is great. You know, and the Democrats... You know, Trump is, as great of a manipulator as Newsom is, Trump's doing some too. He's got the Democrats out there day and night telling us how evil taxes are, right, with the tariffs. So now he's going to come in with his tax cuts, and they're going to have to say no taxes for Canada, but taxes for Americans. The Democrats are in a real catch-22. This is all, everything that's going on is wonderful. This is all great stuff. I only brought up the Newsom thing because some callers brought it up today. But things could not be going better than they are. I do want to tell you, though, that if you've not taken advantage of this, you should. The free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. You know, this is a cool thing. We got the cruise coming up. No matter where we are on the cruise, if we're on our catamaran sailboat out in the Caribbean Sea, If we're in one of the beautiful Caribbean islands and there's movement at my door, I'm going to get a notification on my cell phone no matter where we are. And I can look at it and see who's at my door. It's a great thing to have. And you can get a doorbell camera that connects to your cell phone too for free with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give Sloman's a call no matter where you're located. Take advantage of this incredible deal. 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. We'll be right back. Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
Got a minute.
Mm.
30 seconds. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You want to take some calls, Steve?
Sure, sounds
All right.
good.
Just a word of caution. There's been some very strange happenings on the phone today, I must tell you. It was worse than yesterday, but we'll see. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Jay from Jersey.
Oh, Jay from Jersey. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why he's telling everybody that gas is cheaper than it was.
Because I bought it today.
Before. Well, I kept track of this. Well, let me finish. When Biden left office, gas here was $2.77. Gas went back up to $3.09. Now it's back down to $2.99. Maybe you can explain to me how that's better.
Yeah, because you're in Jersey. Now the only time I've been to Jersey is when I got off at 95 to use the toilet when I'm driving to someplace nice. Okay, but
you must have been doing it in your car.
Yeah,
you must have been doing it in your car. You're probably that nasty.
Yeah, I know. But I'm trying to answer your question, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear the lie.
Now, but I've heard people say that in Jersey you can't even pump your own gas. Okay, and
no, we don't have to.
Yeah, you can't. It's like against the law. You've got.
We don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go.
No, I'm not done answering your question, Jay.
God.
Okay.
Why are you taking so long?
Because I'm giving you, I'm not talking to you as much as I'm talking to the audience. And the reason I point that out, come on. You got to understand, you're in a place that's so left-wing on the gas that you can't even pump it yourself. Here in Florida, where we embrace liberty, it's different. And I got gas today. I took my wife's car. It was on dead empty. I filled it up. I mean, the thing on the dashboard, I had like 2 miles left before I was out of gas, okay? It cost me less than $30 to fill up the tank. Gas prices here in Florida, and for regular unleaded, are back in the $2.50 some odd cent area, depending on what gas station you're at. That's the price of gasoline on Trump's last day of his first term. So you're in a liberal area. No, it's not a lie. I bought gas this morning, and I was on YouTube talking about it this morning when at the gas pump.
You're trying to convince these people that everything is going good. The secret mirror thing, I guess you're doing. Trump is so much underwater. Nothing he's done is going right. Remember, red. It's red, ain't it? Oh, I have to break it down like this to you too. Sesame Street. Red. All I got to keep saying is red. You know, the stock market has been red 5 days. Red. Mm-hmm. He's doing nothing right.
Nothing right.
I thought, wait a minute, this is another thing. I thought he had a deal with Putin to stop the war. What happened to that?
No, I want to get back. I want to get back. Excuse.
We're going to go down.
Jay,
where's something going right?
Jay, we're trying to talk to you. Steve and I will talk to each other about this without you.
Before I could finish.
You'll never finish. You throw out too many thoughts. Now, the thing about the gas prices, here's the thing, okay?
We're past that.
No, we're not past it. I know you would like to move on from it because gas prices are going down. I get it, but we're not past it. So, you said I'm lying about the gas prices. Not only are they low, they were so low, I took out my phone and was and made a YouTube video at the gas pump this morning. Gas prices are an amazing thing because most people buy gas. Okay, they go to gas stations, so it's something that people see and know the price of. And I will, anyone in this audience can call in right now that's gotten gas this week and tell me what you've seen. The gas prices are not only down, they're continuing to go down a lot.
But you drive a little girl car.
No, my wife's car. Yeah.
What does that matter? No, your wife doesn't drive. She doesn't do anything. So
she doesn't do anything. Drive. Okay, all right. I appreciate the call. I will take. Are you? Let me take care of this and that. Okay. Are you back with us, Steve? Oh, hold on. One second. Okay. The phones are ringing off the hook. All right. Steve, you with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now I will take that as a surrender. Once he starts talking about my wife, he's lost. But the gas pump is one of the best ways that you can get a gauge of the economy because everybody goes and buys gas. And my wife's car cost about $10 less to fill up than it did just a few weeks ago. Okay, I've not filled it up for a while because he's right. She doesn't drive, so gas didn't last a long time. So I haven't filled a car up in a long time, and I was in shock. It was $29.80 or 90 some cents, and then I clicked it again just to tap it off, and I broke the $30 mark. But it cost me less than $30 to fill up a car that cost $37 to $39 to fill up just a short time ago, and that's amazing. Okay, and that's because of President Trump. All right, you want to take some more calls, Steve? What do you want to do?
It's up to you. You're the boss.
All right, okay. I'm the boss. It must be payday if you're saying I'm the boss, huh? You're on the air. What? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Josh in Virginia.
Hey, Josh.
What's going on? I just wanted to agree with you with the gas prices, man. They're much lower over here. It's $2.45 in the local.
$2.45. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. $2.45 a gallon.
The price of eggs are going down.
That's
for
right.
The first time in quite a while.
Yeah, and about a month ago it was about $3.20.
So you're say that again because you're a little low. How much is gas in Virginia?
$2.45.
Wow, $2.45 a gallon. Oh my goodness, that's like time traveler prices back to 2015.
Feels like when I was 15. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Wow, it makes you want to buy gas.
I want to give you a shout out.
All right, I appreciate the call. That almost makes me want to buy somebody else gas. Almost. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. We'll be right back. New Jersey's gas tax is 42 cents a gallon. Holy smokes. And then you got the federal tax on top of that. Steve, you there?
I'm here.
I got about a minute and a half. We'll be back.
Yeah, I got something to lead with if you want.
Okay. All right. And we got a bunch of callers, too. Let's start with your thing, and then we'll go to the calls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the gas prices are coming down fast. I mean, everything's
going well.
Someone just told me in the chat the tax on the New Jersey gas tax is 42 cents a gallon. Plus the federal. Oh my gosh. Okay, 1 minute. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here, and you had something, Steve?
Yeah, well, I was sitting here wondering why I'm upset. And it goes back to all this talk that you're so afraid about Newsom.
Not afraid.
Well, you sound like you're intimidated by. You were saying that he was a threat.
He's a monster.
Well, I know he's a monster, but I don't think he represents any threat in the upcoming election. And I'm surprised that you take him so seriously, because to me he's just another hack.
You know why, Steve? Do you know why? Do you know why? Because I've seen his mind control powers with 3 very smart conservatives, and they don't even know they've been manipulated. And because his powers are so great. What's he going to be?
What about the power? What about the power of what we believe, which is the abilities of Donald Trump to straighten out?
Well, Trump's not running in 4 years. That's the problem.
No. But he'll be running it. Let me ask you a couple questions. Do you believe that Trump is going to straighten out the economy here?
Yeah.
At this crucial time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
When he turns things around, obviously we're in a period of transition right now. But when it becomes evident from all the pricing that he was right and his plan is right and the entire thing works its way through and serves its purpose, I think there's going to be a boom going on in this country. I don't think the Democrats are going to stand a chance no matter who they run, let alone
Probably, but why take the chances? See what's going on. If you're on,
well, because they got to have a candidate.
Well, but we shouldn't be nominating. We shouldn't be helping them.
If Trump delivers what we believe, what you say you believe he can deliver between now and the next election, we're going to walk.
Well, now, I'm not talking about the midterms. I'm talking about the presidential, okay?
I'm talking about the presidential.
Okay. So the thing with Newsom, Steve, yeah.
What do you think? Let's just say it's Newsom against Vance, okay? How much faith do you have in Newsom in that matchup?
I don't know. We're the favorite, but here's what's happening, okay? And nobody even you don't realize this, okay? One of the reasons Trump did very well for a million reasons, okay? And one of the reasons he did well is he got the endorsement of a lot of podcasters and internet media people that he never had before, right? And Newsom, he's getting the endorsements from all these MAGA people by what's happening on their shows. These are all going to be campaign commercials. He's getting the endorsement of Charlie Kirk, Michael Savage, and now Steve Bannon. And by the time he's done, he's going to have all MAGA world except the 2 of us endorsement.
If you believe what we say about first of all, Donald Trump's great ability is the ability to pick the right people.
Yes.
Which is the most, okay? So from everybody out there, our candidate, Donald Trump, chose Vice President Vance, all right? Do you have faith in his judgment?
He's not. He said that Vance is not his successor. He's got to earn it.
I understand that, but that's a position he's got to take at this point. But obviously,
what you're
whoever
trying
is
to
the
do,
vice
you see
president has a leg up.
what you're trying to do to me is what Newsom did to these three guys. You're trying to manipulate me to criticize Trump. You're trying to put this thing out. You're trying to get. You're trying to make it.
Trump.
No. You're trying to make it sound like I don't trust Trump or I don't have faith in Trump,
That's why you sound.
No, I don't.
That's
See,
how you
but
sound.
don't you see how these guys were? You're trying to manipulate me. It's not going to work. No, I trust Trump, and we're the favorite no matter who he endorses.
Well, then, so what are you worried about?
Because out of all the
You have faith in what he believes in. You
see what I mean? See what I mean? See, that's not going to work with me, Steve. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not banning.
It's not a question of working.
No, you're trying. You know, you're trying to make it sound like I don't trust Trump, which is so.
Well, that's
so
exactly what you sound like.
No, I don't. I don't sound like that at all. You're trying to sell a false narrative. This is fake news from Steve. What I'm telling you is, out of all the Democrats, they all suck. Newsom, he is out of all the Democrats, he's the best they got. So why are our guys helping him?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Do you want to take some calls or not?
Well, okay, all right. I mean, maybe somebody out there can get through to you.
Okay, all
but
right.
I mean, to be scared of the guy.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Newsom.
Sure.
I'm not scared of him. But I'd rather run against Mayor Pete than Newsom.
Well, Major Pete's another major loser.
Yes, he's an idiot. All right, hold on. Let me. Our phones are okay. We let's see here. Okay, you with us, Steve? Okay, you back there, Steve? All right, hold on. I lost Steve again. All right, Steve, you with us? I don't know where Steve went, but okay, I'll put him on hold and I'll take some of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hi, Steve. Now, here's where I get frustrated. Now, I haven't seen any of these.
Watch them.
The podcasts. But we're smart Republican tacticians. We've got the high ground of everything. We got a mandate from the electorate. We can hang that election on this guy's neck. We can hang the disaster in California on this guy's neck. And all we got to do is marginalize this guy and let him swing in the breeze there.
And our guys our guys are endorsing him, talking about what a reasonable, nice guy he is.
Yeah. Sometimes, I think the conservative Republicans want to kind of show that they're cool too, and this. We can hang this whole thing on this guy and knock this guy out early before he gets any momentum.
You're right.
I don't know why we're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I am screaming from the rooftops. All right, appreciate the call. All right, I don't know why I lost you. Are you back with us, Steve? See, I don't know where Steve's at. I'm going to put Steve on hold. I'll call him during the break. I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, Vincent Wellington.
Hey, Vince.
Yeah, I agree kind of with, I think that was Jeff. But I don't really see Newsom so much as a threat, but he is definitely an evil person. That guy reminds me of the Joker. And,
listen, we are the favorite. Why help them?
Right. I understand, but I do believe that, I kind of feel like in the background, Donald Trump Jr. is going to be the nominee eventually.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I feel like he's helped his father with so much, getting to understand.
I don't think it'll be him. It could be JD. He's the favorite because he's the Veep, right? It could be Marco Rubio.
For
sure. It could be Christy Gnome. Who knows?
Well, Gavin did get a recall election against him, and he almost lost it to Larry Elder. So for me, I feel like he really doesn't have much.
And Larry Elder was very critical of Trump the other day. I was very disappointed in Larry Elder. I talked about this.
I heard that.
I mean, what the heck happened to Larry Elder? What a disappointment.
But he's still going to stand for conservative values. He's not going to.
You got to stand for MAGA. Liz Cheney claims to stand for conservative values.
I feel like a lot of what we're watching is just these conservatives that are in the spotlight. They feel like they have no opportunity now that Trump has kind of turned in a different direction, especially like Steve Bannon and all these
Steve Bannon's vice is he's on the outside and he hates Elon. He's jealous of Elon, and he was lured in so he could trash Elon with Newsom. He was trying. Right. He went on there to try to portray. He said it to Newsom. He says, "You created Elon Musk." And then he said, and then he said, "Yes, we did. With our tax, we made him." And Bannon was agreeing with Newsom on that. So come on.
Yeah, they're going to still try to hang all that on Trump that Elon got created
Yeah.
through the government.
Yeah.
But you know what I see it as is that these people are all just they're ploying for the next.
Do you think I'm
whatever they
being
can
too hard
do.
on these guys?
No, I like the banter between you and Steve for sure.
Yeah, and
But,
now Steve got disconnected. He's probably going to accuse me of doing that on purpose because he was trying, But no, I didn't. I'm going to call him back during the break. I don't know why we got disconnected, but I'll reconnect during the break. It was just a sad coincidence. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. All right, let's go. Let me take one more. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Tom from Florida. You know, I got to ask you a quick question. Do you think that it's at all possible, right, that gas lobbyists, right, got together? I mean, because I can't even count on how many
Gas
times
lobbyists?
Trump promised.
You mean big oil?
Yes.
And did what?
Big oil. Look at it, there are people who lobby for gas, so let's just get that to the side, okay? You don't think that they would lower prices to make the American people happy, especially Americans with trucks, and those are the,
No, why? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? When if you're in business, let me ask you this: do you want to? If you're in business, right? Do you want to sell do you want to sell your product for $2.50 a gallon or $3.50 a gallon?
Guess what, Brian?
You want to sell it for more. Why would they lower their money? Why would they do that to help people in trucks?
Hold on. Would you lose a couple of million to gain
$1 million?
Couple of
You would
billion
lose a quadrillion dollars because everybody uses gas. Oh my goodness! No wonder you're a liberal. You don't even understand basic economics. Do you drive a truck? Do you drive a truck?
Okay, but now you know what I do know is that I've heard that man, President Trump, say before he was elected that on day one he would lower gas.
Well, it's down. It's down. It's down a lot.
Gas, what's down? Besides gas, what's down?
Egg prices. Okay, you asked. I mean, other than what's down, what's down? Well, the only things that are down are what's down. Oh. We'll be right back. Okay, I don't know what happened. You there? Yeah, I got you. Hold on. I got to call Youngerman, and then I'll be back to you. Hold on. Hey there. Hold on. It's going to be about 1 minute. I'm going to put you on hold. We'll be right to you. Okay? Hold on. All right, Steve. Hold on. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hang in there. We got about a minute, and we'll have Youngerman, and then we'll get back to the calls. Let's see. Less than a minute. 30 seconds. Oh, my goodness. All right, William. Oh, shoot. Okay. Hold on. All right, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. On the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated, we have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals are looking very good. Again, gaining up against the all-time highs again. And yesterday we saw gold trade in a range of $2,904 on the low to $2,941 on the high. Closing out today up $18.30 at $2,933.90 the ounce. Silver gained 29 cents, nicely above that $33 number at $33.19 the ounce. Platinum was up $7 at $9.84, and palladium gained $10 at $9.37. Overnight, we've seen gold trade in a range of $2,932 all the way up to $2,952 the ounce. Silver or gold right now $2,948. That's up $14.10. Silver up down 4 cents at $33.15. Platinum down $14 at $9.70. And palladium down $7 at $930 the ounce. So the markets are doing good. Silver, gold, our star metals are still taking the lead and doing very well, coming up to close to new highs on gold. And
absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. And remember, you guys, you can do all of your transactions with William Youngman over the phone, no matter where you're located in America or for the world for that matter. All right? If you can make it in, you should, because William Youngman's shop is literally a museum with, just beautiful things on display. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can reach him toll-free, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and find both his phone number and address on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. This is a great time for the metals, William Youngerman.
yes, it is an excellent time and a great time still to be adding to your positions, because I think gold and silver are going much higher.
That's amazing. Okay, we'll finish out the week tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, Steve, we're back. I'm sorry we lost you there, but we got you back. All right, the phones are ringing off.
Am I back?
You're back.
Am I back?
You're back. I'm back. Everyone's back.
All right, I just want to say, as the phones are ringing off, let me just say this: if you believe in Mac, if you believe in Donald
here we
Trump,
go again.
If you believe that there's going to be a golden age in America, all of which I do, by the way, I really believe in him, and I believe he's going to straighten this country out. And I think the Democrats are lost. I think they're barely surviving as a party.
Yes, okay? They are. You're right.
Next presidential, I think whoever is the Republican candidate is going to waltz free in the next presidential election.
Steve,
I'm not
come
even
on.
worried about it because I believe in Trump's judgment.
Steve, we believe in Jesus, but we wear seatbelts, right? So I mean, you got to be.
That's a joke.
No, Steve, you don't listen. We are the favorite in the presidential, okay? But Newsom is...
I'm ready to go to the phones and see what the audience thinks.
All right. Let me give the number out, 888-465-2631. I think you'll find a mixed bag. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Trump's judgment.
Oh, here we go.
We believe in Jesus.
Yes, I know. I heard that. That was a pretty wise thing. You're on. All right. Oh, boy. There we go, Steve. There's we got a phone filled with liberal trolls, but I'll tell you this, Steve. Most of what you say, I agree with 150%. Okay, and what I'm not able to get through to you is
what happened to the calls.
I'm trying, Steve. You think I'm not taking calls? I am, but you got to just bear with me. Just wait a second, okay? I am answering the phones as we're talking. I'll go to the phones as soon as we can, okay? What I agree with most everything you're saying. The problem is that we have a bunch of stupid MAGA Republicans that are helping the Democrats, and we shouldn't be doing that, especially when we're on top of the world. Okay, hold on. Let me try. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm going to. There we go. All right, here we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Kenny from Palm Beach.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Ken. How you doing?
How you guys? How you doing, Steve and Brian? I kind of get what both of you guys are saying, but I'm leaning more towards what Brian's saying is this Newsom has what people used to say in the past about presidents. He's got charisma. Like him or not, he knows how to change when he needs to change the conversation, and he's mildly good looking. I mean, not my type.
Debating anybody that knows what they're talking about, he can be nailed.
See, there's two things going on with Steve, okay? One, he hasn't seen these interviews that we're talking about. So he hasn't seen what he's been able to do to these three guys. Two, Steve is trying to get this fake narrative going that I don't trust in Trump, which is, I mean, come on. I'm like the most pro-Trump guy alive whose name's not Trump.
What are you worried? Why are you scared and I'm not?
I'm not scared. See, that's another part of your false narrative. But what I'm trying, and Kenny, I think you'll agree with me on this. A lot of Democrats voted for Trump by the millions that voted for Democrats in the House races, or we would have a supermajority in the House. And they lost because of the border, and in large part, they lost those Democrats because of the border issue and the trans sports issue. So
we're going to win in the presidential election, the next one. We're going to win because of everything Trump has done and everything we've accomplished in the golden age. If you remember the golden age,
yeah, all right.
You're getting ready.
Then why do we have it? Then why do we do a show, Steve? Let's just say we'll be back in 4 years.
No.
I don't understand what your point is.
The reason we're doing a show, because the people out there that are listening, that are in trepidation, listening to you worried that Donald Trump.
I'm not worried.
Know what he's doing.
I'm not worried.
He hasn't let the successor.
Steve, I'm not worried.
Well, you sound worried to me.
You can keep saying that over and over, but I'm not worried. See, the problem is, listen, we're on the phone. We got Kenny from Palm. We got Kenny here. What are your thoughts, Kenny?
Ken, go ahead.
Well, I mean, there's no concern in my opinion because we got the momentum going.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Ken?
I understand, and the ball's like rolling and gathering speed as far as the things that Trump is accomplishing. He just got started, but we always have to be concerned who's out there.
Steve, another thing you're leaving out, and Kenny maybe got some. Here's the thing, okay? I love JD, but he doesn't have the charisma that Trump or Newsom have. Not yet.
I agree.
Okay, so we don't have anybody that has that kind of charisma. Newsom has charisma, like Bill Clinton.
Oh, please! None of you know.
If you saw him, he manipulated Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and Michael Savage, and they don't even know it. That's crazy.
If he looked like what's his name, the vice presidential candidate, let's say bald-headed, not that good-looking, he might be a good talker, but he's kind of got the whole package. I remember going back to the Kennedy years. All the women fell in love with Kennedy because he was, in some people's mind, good-looking, but he could also speak. This is what Newsom can do. He's mildly good-looking.
Newsom has a record.
Women love him. They want to have sex with him.
Yeah, I mean, he was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle, so he must have.
And by the way, I heard. Now, I have not heard this confirmed, but I saw the other day. Now, I've not heard this confirmed, but I saw someone say the other day that Kim Guilfoyle has helped him book some of these interviews, the Kirk interview. I heard someone. I don't know that to be true, but she may be the ambassador to Greece, but Don Jr. dumped her. Okay, and that's believable to me. Remember, she was.
You asked why
I'm not scared, Steve. I'm just not trying to. I'm trying not to help the Democrats.
It's all about the ratings. It's all about the money. That's why they have this guy on.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Kenny, I appreciate the call. Okay. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I got to tell you guys, a lot of our listeners, Steve, have been going to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. They've called up. They've gone in. They've met with Dr. Zuckerman. I lost, as I told you guys, I lost over 25 pounds in less than a month. No exercise, no diets. When I first went over to Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I was expecting to come out with a case of like a bunch of foods that taste awful that I got to eat, and I'm going to be hungry all the time. No, I'm eating the regular stuff I would normally eat. In fact, one of the most common places I eat, other than of course Wings Plus. Oh, Marco Rubio's eating at Wings Plus, Steve. I don't know if a lot of you guys know. Marco Rubio's eating at Wings Plus. But I eat Wings Plus, Chipotle, all those kind of places. That's where I'm eating, and I've lost all this weight. I'm not hungry. I'm not exercising. I'm not taking any of these medications that people keep asking me if I'm on. No medications either, and I'm not hungry. Now, I just wanted to lose 25 pounds, but if you want to lose 40, 50 pounds, even more, you can do it. Now, I'm going to give you the number to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right, we got time for another call or two, so let's do it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, brother? I had a quick question. Is there any chance you would tell me if you had the opportunity to gargle on Trump's meat? Would you do it?
Okay, all right, that's nice. Isn't that nice? So you got to hit the dump button, Mike, again. If you're on hold, hang in there. Well, we're about to sign off anyway. But there you go. That's the liberal response. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You know, in all the years I've been doing this, I've heard people say profanity and vile things that are just things you cannot imagine that grown men will say. And we've dumped a lot of calls because of that over the years. So many that I got arthritis in my index finger that I no longer have thanks to Dr. Appleton, right? That caller was probably the most vile, disgusting comment that a caller has ever made that's called this show that we've had to hang up and dump on. And you know what's bizarre to me? These are not young men. These are, you know, this is a mature audience we have out there, and you've got grown men talking like that. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. And you got to ask yourself, why did they do it? Well, that guy in particular, what he tried to do was disrupt what we were talking about, which shows that I was right. Okay, now listen, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. You all know what that means. Tomorrow is Open Phones, Open MAGA Mike Friday. On Friday's show, the show prep is up to you guys. So tomorrow, you can call in about any and everything that's on your mind. It's fair game on Open Phone, Open MAGA Mike Friday. You don't have to be MAGA to call, but we still call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. That's tomorrow's program. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. My name is Brian Craig. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Take care. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? I'll see you next time.